Good afternoon, Your Honor. Brandon Marshall on behalf of call number 80, Laken Snelling.
Dates are, see this, Friday the 5th, 12th, 19th, or 26th, tomorrow wait time.
26th, and we will wait time, sir.
That was Laken Snelling in court on Tuesday. The University of Kentucky student remains at the center of national headlines. A preliminary autopsy report, though, is creating more questions than answers in her criminal case. So the 21-year-old is currently on home confinement pre-trial at her parents' house in Tennessee after she was let out of jail on that bond. Now, she's accused of hiding her dead infant in her closet. Court TV's Cody Thomas has more.
That was 21-year-old Laken Snelling, the University of Kentucky cheerleader, who's now been arrested after her own newborn baby was found in her closet. She arrived to court today for her first appearance and arraignment following her arrest on Saturday, August 30th. She's facing charges of tampering with physical evidence, abuse of a corpse, and concealing the birth of an infant. Lexington police were dispatched for an unresponsive infant at a home, Snelling's home, where that infant was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say Snelling admitted to giving birth and also admitted to trying to hide it by placing the cleaning items inside a black trash bag, a trash bag that also included the baby wrapped in a towel. Snelling has since posted $100,000 bond and is now under home incarceration with no ankle monitor, ordered to live with her parents. Her next court appearance is scheduled for September 26th.
That was Cody Thomas reporting. That preliminary autopsy for the baby released Wednesday by the coroner in Fayette County, Kentucky. It said in part, as for the cause of death, quote, the findings are inconclusive. Extensive microscopic analyses are essential to determine the cause and manner of death. The manner of death listed as currently undetermined. The coroner going on to say, I understand the community's concern and sensitivity surrounding the death of a child. This death affects many lives in our neighboring state of Tennessee, as well as those in the Commonwealth. We're currently conducting a thorough and methodical death investigation to ensure that all facts are carefully considered. Ooh, well, quite an acknowledgement there from the coroner. And we here, as we've been poring over the facts that we do know, feel like there's more unanswered questions than there are answers. Who found the baby? What was the term of the baby? How long was that baby deceased in that closet? Let's bring in our guest to talk about it. Criminal defense and civil rights attorney John Phillips is with us, and also want to welcome in retired NYPD detective. He hosts his own show on Odyssey, Rob O'Donnell. Good morning to you both. I want to start with the biggest outstanding question that you both may have as you're poring over the information that we do know. John Phillips, would you start us off, please?
Yeah, the main questions I want to know is who called police and how old was that child, to your point? You know, those are really, really important. And then you go back and look at Laken's TikTok where she's talking about motherhood and all of the options that a girl has with like safe haven boxes and adoption. And it's just a really sad set of facts here that this is the way she chose to treat her own child.
Yes, John, thank you. Rob O'Donnell, tell us, what questions are top of mind for you, please?
Again, how the baby was discovered is obviously one of the top ones here. You could see that they're focusing on, they're not charging her with the death of this child. They're charging her with the tampering of evidence and the dealing with the corpse and such like that. They're dealing with the evidence and the things they know they can prove at this point. The autopsy is going to be very crucial moving forward. This molecular structure analysis that they're going to do can basically time, they have to watch the deterioration of the tissue over a period of time to see if they can determine if the baby was born alive, if the baby was stillborn. But without that determination, a lot of these cases usually end up in some sort of plea deal. But with the extensive social media that a lot of these young kids have at this age, that this young lady obviously had, you know, are there any things there? Her portrayal of wanting motherhood here is something that is not going to look very kindly for a jury if this does get to a jury. The other thing is discarding the baby with the cleaning supplies, with the trash, and any prosecutor is going to key in on that you took your child, your baby, it was born or not, and discarded it with the trash. So that's also not going to look very kindly come trial time.
Right, all great points, Rob. Rob, tell me, really tapping into your experience, having done so many different interviews over the course of your career with the NYPD, if you could get in a room with Laken Snelling, if she would be willing to speak with you, what are some of the things you would ask her?
Why didn't you believe you had other options? Why did you do this? Any good defense attorney is gonna try and portray her and have her portray herself as, I panicked, I was scared, I didn't know what to do, I didn't have a support structure around her. So you want to lock her in. She did make statements off the top of saying that she did have this baby. So there are on the record statements before she lawyered up in this case. So you want to ask her, even with an attorney present, if it's allowed, is what's her support structure with her family? Do you live with a loving family? What's the case around you to build a prosecution against? Well, you did have options. There was a big support structure around you. You didn't have to do this, and this is what you did, if they can prove that the baby was born alive.
All right. All very, very, very helpful points you made there. Rob, thank you. So we'll leave this Kentucky case here for now. Of course, bring you any updates as we get them.